Hey, everybody. This is a test of the Sherpa broadcasting system. This is only a test. Or, well, mostly we have to test some things, and we can only do this test in a full live stream. It hasn't been letting us conduct it unlisted. If you don't already know, Stunt Hands is my husband, John. We call him that because he's a little bit camera shy and sometimes always sees his hands. Mm-hmm. So he writes little faces on them and he does stuff. So this stream is a little different than what we do. This is great if you watch the show. Actually, this is great no matter where you are in your YouTube viewing experience. If you watch us all the time, this could be really helpful. If you have watched us a few times, if you watch a lot of art shows, this is great. We have features that we have to test, and to make sure that our stuff goes smoothly during our regularly scheduled live streams, on occasion, we need to get into things and test. Like right before the show, we've been having a problem with duplicate stream keys. So we're going to have to make a note of that and tomorrow go upstairs and see why all of the streams have that as an issue.
Why?
And John's got a bunch of graphics and bumpers to test, and I have a weird wood canvas to test. So he has a test, I have a test, there's some test things. And then in this stream, feel like it's okay to give us feedback. I'm going to talk a little bit about feedback, and this kind of relates to an art critique. And then Mary, I'm totally going to answer your question because Mary had a really good question in the live stream before the show. But first I want to say critique. So in art, critique is a long time honored tradition. It's very helpful. It's sometimes the only way for you to make real transformations in your art because it's super easy for artists to get stuck. That's a very normal thing. But there are some rules around critique. A lot of people do critique wrong. Critique is not mean, nor is it critical. It is informative and it is actionable. So like, you suck. While that is critical feedback, it's not really actionable. If I do suck, what am I going to do about that? Also, what particularly makes me suck? We wouldn't know, right? So, you suck, right? Wouldn't be helpful. But your sound sucks. It's really pitchy. That's helpful because that tells us at least more of what's wrong, and it tells us some more descriptive factors that let us know there's an issue with the sound and it's pitchy, and then now we have feedback. Now, the correct way to critique anything, especially art, is to listen to the question that is proposed by the artist. That would be me. That would be John, which is we're testing some new features on our stream. We're testing angles, zooms, bumpers, all kinds of things. I'm testing my wood canvas. You can ask any questions that you want. But we're looking to see how these look. Because at the end of the day, what we do, and we do this 3 times a week for free, right? Well, at the end of the day, what we do is for you, right? This is your class space. This is a space where you're learning and having fun and arting and putting down the worries of the week. And we want to make sure that as we transform or go forward, that those things are good for you. So you're not going to hurt my feelings. I know sometimes it's so cute, but it's either totally happy to like come and hurt my feelings, but I would say 99% of people just don't want to hurt my feelings, then they want to give me any feedback. But it's okay to give feedback today. Just do your best to let us know specifics. So if it's something we can take action on, we will. Now, some suggestions may be awesome and great and fantastic, but we wouldn't be able to do anything about them yet. On those, just know that we're going to write those down in the notebook, and if new tech comes out or new equipment or a new budget comes out or some big massive super chat donation comes in, right, we may be able to take action on that, right? Like right now, if you're like, what you really need is Red Dragon Cama, just like Jaza, and I'd be like, I don't have a Red Dragon. I have to go to the YouTube space to get one of those. We would need to fundraise for that.
Would you like some inside baseball?
Yes. Inside Baseball by John.
Jazza uses the same kind of cameras we do.
Really?
Black Magic.
Does he?
Mm-hmm. He doesn't use broadcast cameras, and we use Panasonic broadcast.
No.
But yeah, most of our stuff around you is combination of Black Magic.
There's many things
Canon.
around me. I'm in a completely new filming setup.
You're in a cocoon.
Colleen, thank you so much. Colleen did $1. Do you want to do a test,
thank
sir?
You. Let me see what I got. I got data that I've got to
Lindsay,
collect.
okay. So Mary, I'm going to answer Mary's question and Lindsay's question. Maybe this will be kind of like a Q&A, and then I got to test this board here because this is a wood board I've gessoed. Mary, if ever you want to come to the show, we have 1,000 free art lessons, and I make new ones every week. I have a watercolor lesson that happens on Facebook on Wednesdays. And on Friday and Saturday, I do acrylic here. I do easy stuff on Friday nights. and harder lessons on Saturday, more involved. We just cover more techniques. We also have big events like we're going to, and this is big news for some of you. Some of you might have seen the post. Yes, we're doing the 13 days of Halloween this year. Yeah, and we're going to do it live. Yes. So we do big events where maybe we go live every day for 13 days. Like crazy people. So did any of the things work? I didn't see anything happen.
It did. I'm working on it.
Okay.
I'm
so
working.
if ever you want to find...
I'm working.
Okay. If ever you want to find materials, what's the project going to use? They are generally in the description down below. So that's the first place you can find them. So you can see like 3 lines of description, but there's a more button. If you open it up, I get 50,000 characters, and I max it out almost every time we post. I want you guys to have the links. I want you guys to fund the resources. I want you guys to know everything that you could possibly have in the show, and what you can need, and maybe optional materials, things like that. Also resources back on our website. That's one place. Another place to find them is I tend to post about events in Facebook and often share materials there and on their website on each video page. So like if you were to go to the website right now and search most videos, as long as the search function is working, you will find that there's a material list there. We are trying to make it easier. Well, eventually the material list is something that you can easily access and even pick up from a one-click option. But that is a few stunt hand tests away. Lindsay is talking about that she was at her Hobby Lobby and they were not getting any what she called box canvases in. But what she's talking about is the large shipment orders of stretch canvases. And that is not surprising to me. A lot of companies are, 1, restructuring, and 2, the supply chains are drying up. You may or may not know this, but most of the canvas comes out of China. And right now, shipping is not really happening globally, right? We have health concerns and geopolitics. Right? And all of that is going on, which affects us artists in this way. But good news, companies like Fredericks and Ampersand are stateside, so there will be canvases. I think, I haven't seen Arteza or any of the other like kind of Amazon economy canvases slow down. We will be able to get canvases, but some of the big stores will be struggling to get canvases. I don't want you to feel bad about them. They're either billionaires or giant corporations. They will struggle through. And we will support them with our dollars while they find their way through back to large supply canvases. I just don't know where they're going to come from. And I'll tell you something else. Let me promise you something. If somehow canvases are hard to find, I will teach you how to make them from scratch. And I don't mean like just stretch pre-prepped canvas. I mean like old school Medici stretch canvas from unprimed duct. I will show you the deal. It's easier than you think. We will not be stopped. Right now, I'm actually working on one of the options. This is board. These are inexpensive little round boards. Do you like my ducky tape? That are here, and I have done 1 coat of gesso, and I'm going to be looking at what I need to do. This is my test today. Winka, 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 woo. About what it's like to paint on these wood boards, because while this round one nicely fits my awesome little wheel here, it also, there's squares and lots of options on these, and these may become really good alternatives to our canvas problems. I'm so grateful that 263 people came to help us test stuff on our show. Tell us what you think. Tell us. Sulu's Creation says Hobby Lobby will no longer sell black canvases either in my state. Yeah, I think, I'm not really sure. Again, billionaires and large corporations. We don't need to feel bad about any of the big art stores. However, while you don't need to worry about the big chains and the big billionaires and the big corporations, other than your usual shopping, do make sure that you're taking care of your local art store, because sometimes they're the only place that we artists can get our resources. On my Instagram, I try to share really cool art stores all around, and I want to that end, say something to you. If you have a local art store, not like Michael's, not like the big chains, they've got advertising, they're in the flyers. I mean, like a local mom and pop art store that you love, other people might not know about. Let everybody know what that name is in this particular stream. I say that is okay today.
Okay, so If I go
Colleen really
there.
likes to give us dollars. She's testing the system.
I'm testing the system.
We're
or something.
testing the system. We're trying to get more graphics and more engagement and more gamification into the live streams. We want to keep them fun. We've been having a little trouble getting our bubbles going, and if we're not going to have bubbles, then for sure we want to have other fun stuff. So I've been making graphics and getting ready. And Katie Kate says, I love your hair. Thank you, because my teen daughter was like, is that a side part? On purpose? I was like, yeah, I did. Parted it on the side, like on purpose. And she's like, I'm not used to side parts. She's like, you bangs. And I parted on the middle. And I'm like, and parted it on the side. I like the side. She's like, maybe because it's, it's like an old timey hairstyle.
Okay. So.
I'm sure many of you can relate. Let that percolate in. Oh, Suki Sue's looking for a mom and pop art store in the Davenport, Florida area. Yeah, definitely share your favorite art stores, especially in the stream. And we're going to actually start calling for shout outs of our local art stores, especially during this. Because again, I know that Michaels has a plan, right? I'm sure Jerry's Artarama has a plan and Dick Blick has a plan, and Cheap Joe's and all the big guys online. I hope my little dude Mart has a plan over there in Australia. I'm sure the store, Sydney Art Store, they've got to have a plan. But it can be just as hard for a small store to be able to get supplies and get materials. They don't have the buying power. Oftentimes, they can't get terms, which is, it's like if you don't think about this, like if an art store wants to carry my brushes, they have to buy all the brushes in the case, all of them, and then they have to buy the case. And it's a lot of money. Because I bought all the brushes in my case, in the case. Right? So even wholesale, that is a lot of money. And if you think about what it takes to run a small business, when you're trying to put new product in your store and be innovative and creative for your local art consumers, that's a difficult business, which is why sometimes you'll see art stores kind of combine businesses like a frame shop. And you look at even Hyatt's, which seems like a very big store. Hyatt's All Things Creative, and they're established, they're big. They really have to work to keep those doors open. So,
okay, so I got something.
Lindsay's
working.
like, do you sell box canvases?
I got something neat kind of working.
Okay, all right. So I'm in the turtles.
So you're in the turtles.
I'm in the turtles. I'm gonna put out some paint now.
So while I'm here, I'm gonna say,
put out my paint so I
see,
can test my wood.
I gotta check something else. Make
you,
sure
you
that
check whatever you gotta check. I'm gonna test my wood.
My overlays, are they set
overlays?
correctly? 2 is correct. 3 is correct. 4 is not correct, but I will make it correct.
I see the butcher's wife.
Okay.
So right at the moment, I do not sell art materials, but give me just a minute because I've had about enough of all the difficulty getting them, and you never know what will come in the future.
So,
you never know.
The gnomes just left.
Did the gnomes leave?
And if
Did
you
the gnomes
don't
leave from the
know-
broadcaster?
If you don't know who the gnomes are,
Oh.
for text notification, you can send a text to 33222. That's the phone number you send it to. And then you send the message, The Art Sherpa. And you'll get a text message from us when we're ready to go live. Now, so here's the thing I've been playing with.
What have you been playing with?
This is very crude. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let them see what you're doing.
Okay,
and,
what I'm doing, you might want to make me smaller.
Yeah, I'll work on that here.
So I'm just testing this wood. Anne came by and she says she paints with craft paint. And by the way, craft paint is real paint. We don't even have that debate over my channel. That's silly nonsense. It's real paint. There's lots of different products out there, and they all have a purpose. You just want a good company with a good product, whatever you're painting with. You want that. Saroons, come here. You guys are wonderful. So if you're just coming in, let new people that are coming in know that this is a testing broadcast.
This is a testing broadcast.
I'm testing wood. John's testing bumpers and different things, and he's going to test zooms and focuses and all kinds of things. And
I don't even know where to start.
All the
I'm
things.
so excited.
So all the feedback, please, guys. All the feedback.
Let me go ahead and get my homework done so I can create a virtual input.
Patty Hoffman, cinnamon overlay is not as wide as the background.
Oh, I'll adjust there.
Okay.
This was just I threw the raw stuff up there.
And
so
that's
that we
good
could get in
feedback,
there.
though. I'm just reading feedback.
Oh, that's good.
Right? We got to get, and here's what. If somehow we miss your comment, don't stress. John and I are going to make a point of sitting down and definitely going over every comment and every bit of feedback.
Okay.
I'm going to just come in here and doing some sky, I guess. You know what I'm going to say right now? I'm already happier than this with some other surfaces that I painted on.
That's not
This
so bad.
is, I will, I have a pack of these because they were so economical. I will probably do more on them, and I'll show you guys how to prep it, which, by the way, was super simple. Prep was way simple. Prep was super simple, John.
And
Was it, you say? I say yes, it was simple.
Was it?
This is a test, only a test of the Art Sherpa broadcasting system.
That's a little bit of shot over there. So we're going to go back in there real quick.
If you're curious, I'm using, because I know sometimes when I do test paintings, you guys like to paint along. This is phthalo blue. This is ultramarine blue. This is titanium white. And again, I'm painting on, these are 12-inch wood rounds. I got them on Amazon in a big, massive pack of, what was it, 20? Super cheap. So I was like, even cheaper than the cheap canvases I have been using. And I'm like, I wonder if those are any good. So we're going to find out today, are these any good? If you see one of the kids, I could use a water or something.
Okay,
Oof.
we'll read that in a second.
Can't see all the palette.
Yep, actually, probably you guys, I've got it cropped in. I'll show you real quick. I can show you what you
he's
can
getting
see.
all those adjustments.
Check this out.
Here.
Zoop.
There we
See?
go.
And I just zoomed that in so you can.
Maybe out a little bit.
I can.
Out to like, yeah, where my finger's at the edge here. So that is the whole palette. And then this is the bottom. See, this is the bottom. And then here is the top.
See, it's right in there.
That's we're just trying to get in. It's kind of it's an interesting thing. And when I have a very full palette, what we're doing lately is making me small. Teeny and tiny.
Make her smaller. Okay.
Yeah.
So
if you're just coming in, we're testing the broadcasting system. We tried to do this on unlisted, but YouTube said you can't do these things unlisted.
All right. I'm gonna.
We want our $2. Is what YouTube said.
It was very much. I want my $2.
It really was.
All right. I'm gonna go get you some water here.
Thank you, babe. I really like this surface. I saw Anne and another, Ann Herbert. Lissa Otter was saying that she wasn't enjoying the wood. What? Oh, no, I need drinking, like something to drink. Like something to drink. The canvas is okay. I'm going to add some white to the bottom here. So all I did to this particular wood one, it was gesso it with one coat of Liquitex. When I'm testing something, I tested a variety of different ways. I don't go all in knowing like, well, I could GAC seal this, right? Like if I were to seal some unknown wood substance, I would get GAC, that's Golden Artist Colors, 100, that's their basic polymer, and I would coat the entire thing, sand it if it was rough, right? Sand it if it was rough, then coat it, and then gesso it 3 times. However, I realized that many people who paint with me are not going to go through all that hullabaloo. So I like to see if stuff is good other ways. So I'm not recommending a product that you've got to jump through 10 hoops to make be okay, because a lot of beginners are not going to do that. My board looks pink. It does look pink. A little bit pink. Huh. What kind of wood is that? Designs by CAD Pro. I'm not sure. I will post it as a pinned comment after the show. Like I will literally go find my order and give you a link to the exact thing I did. Oh, look, it's water, but I'm drinking it out of a fancy glass, so I feel better about it.
And now let me pop out my chat. Pop out my chat.
My side part that I'm now like, my side part.
I can see the chat.
I don't know. Water made me feel crazy.
Okay. So,
like having a 16-year-old daughter.
You know what? This is kind of a bummer because what happened was that I was away, and you know how YouTube will only let you scroll back up so far.
Yeah, but you can see everything at the end of the show. So if you missed anything,
well,
and you can ask anyone to repost.
But this is the problem. Let's say I could not see who was nice enough to help us in Super Chat.
Uh-oh.
I made a robot.
Oh, because you can't see. Yeah, it takes away, like, you can't go back and see
You
old
can't go back.
comments, or if people put up a bunch of stuff, or if they do some, like, we can't even see. By the way, if you're wondering what this fabulous and amazing brush is, this is a 1-inch ultimate varnish brush.
But
A lot of people wouldn't grab it to use it as a blending mop because it's labeled as a specific tool or technique. But thankfully, thanks to testing sessions like this, I discovered it is one of my favorite brushes.
okay, so I don't have bubbles, but
You don't have bubbles, but
I got something else that's working.
you have something else that's working.
I'll go over and I want to see because I can't see the broadcast. I minimized the wrong window. So guys, just bear with me. I want to check. I want to go see what's going on. There it is. Where are you?
I don't know. I'm making clouds.
Is that
I'm just
it?
making
No,
little,
that's not it.
little fluffy little.
What happened to my broadcast window?
I don't know what happened to your broadcast window. It's a
My
blue
live
planet.
window.
I like the split screen. Cindy Jagger says she loves this. We're hilarious
Okay.
and Yami's like teeny tiny surface. Laura Patton, if you're just coming in, this, I wish there was a banner, like a ticker tape that was like, oh, this is a test. This is only a test.
Oh,
So we've been
okay.
having a lot
I
of
can do that.
technical difficulties. We moved the studio. We moved to another state. And then we moved the studio. And whenever we move the studio, oh my goodness, the misery that causes is just, there's no way to describe it unless you've been through it. It's extraordinary. And so then we were in a place, and it was okay, but we didn't really like the environment. So we just moved across the hall. You wouldn't think that's a big deal. It's a huge deal. So that's 2 moves too fast. And now we got to go through and test some stuff because John's been doing crazy hoops during shows to make everything go. And then I'm testing this wood round. I'm painting out of my imagination. So there's no picture in picture because my imagination has not yet come with the picture in picture. And then during this broadcast, you guys can totally. Okay, so Flea Beetle Miss says audio is clear, but it looks like Cinnamon is speaking in another language. It's not synced.
Try refreshing your browser.
First, refresh your browser, see if that syncs me. And anyone else, if I don't seem synced, like shout it out. Like definitely always let us know if there's something with the sound or, I mean, I know we work hard and you guys are probably feeling like, I don't really want to bug them because they work like all the time and for free. And it's okay because your feedback, look, first, when I came on the platform, which is a shocking amount of time ago, it was very empty in the art space. There was just a few people. And I looked around and I said, is there anyone doing what I want to do? Is there anyone that has what I'm talking about or what I'm excited about in art and the way I want to teach? And there wasn't. And so I think the closest was my friend Angela, but she hadn't been on the platform in a really long time. And at that point, she was a complete stranger to me who I just thought was a very nice painter. So I came on here. Now it's like the Hunger Games up in here. It really is. It is every day some like new person like coming for you. And it's like crazy, really unexpected, strange space. And the algorithm changes on us every 2 minutes. So what we've decided is the best armor that we can make as advocates of art and teachers and hopefully guides in your creative journey is to make sure that what we do on our channel is the best that we can. And sometimes that requires a test stream and our very kind fans to sit there and say, why is that like that?
Hold on.
Okay, I got it.
4.
Straighten it out.
Oh, no, that's not right.
This is only a test. Thank you. So that's going to go up every once in a while?
In a second, I'm going to fix it. I got the wrong thing. See, this is what I'm saying. I gotta work out some of the stuff and make that full screen.
Bonnie Hemming, a lot of people have said the wood looks pink. And then Trisha Wood says audio and video look fantastic, and I'm on mobile right now. Awesome. And then Ann says I like the overhead setup. And then Sylvia asks a very smart art question. Is the reflected light from my very bright pink hair potentially casting on the wood? And I think it's a combination. To be real honest, I think it's this wood hear the tone of this wood with the gesso over it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's a very likely that there's a very. We'll switch to this camera real quick.
And I keep bumping my thing. Oh, there we go. The zooms.
And
the
you can
robotic zoom.
It's very.
Let's see how close we can get to the brush, sir. How deep? How deep can that zoom go? Like, how deep can we go? Also, we've got to practice like how deep we can go and still focus. And I mean, is it close enough? I don't know. Does it need to be closer?
Is it very close? All right, pull that back out.
Did you guys get close enough? But that was a really good question about, is it reflection from my hair? Because those things can impact color, especially on clear white surfaces. I am using a Strathmore peel paper palette that was asked. I can tear off each sheet. It's not probably good for the ecology. If you are concerned about the environment, and I'm not saying that I'm not, I'm just saying I have a septic system and there's a whole long story. I've just got to get a crash solid setup going so I can do glass pallets again. John is setting up a crash solids thing in the basement, and we're going to show you guys how you can make your own crash solids thing. If you don't want to make it, Golden Artist Colors now has a crash solid kit that you can buy to dispose of your acrylic paint and be more responsible. What's on the bottom there? Oh, it's lorem ipsum. John's always like, I'm going to use some lorem ipsum.
It's what gnomes use to communicate.
Lori B's like, it's cool. I'd love to help you, but I gotta catch this when I'm off work. And we will look at the comments later. So if you catch the stream later and you're like, I have really wanted to tell you, and not you're stupid. Again, it is feedback, but not helpful. Right? If you want to tell us something about how the show is going or things we could improve in the show, we'll go back and read the comments because we take that very seriously. We know we are only you're not YouTube age. We are aware. My daughter does not need to come in every day and be like, you're such a Facebook mom. I'm like, I am on Facebook and I'm a mom. I don't know what else to say. I'm on Facebook and I'm a mom. And she's like, you only use Snapchat for the filters. I'm like, I wish the Snapchat filters were on everything, including my regular life. I would live in a Snapchat filter. If there was a bot floating here casting that Snapchat filter on my face, I would have that thing on when I slept. So when I'm not teaching, I'm a weird chick. So I'm going to continue to highlight my clouds. What I'm really looking for here is how the wood responds to techniques, how it responds to the way the paint is coming on. And I'm very familiar with the different effects I get from, canvas and things. So honestly, I'm pretty happy.
Okay, so I got a new thing to test.
You got a new thing to test?
New thing to test. I'm looking at all my places.
This is only a test of the Sherpa Broadcasting System. I think everyone should come to this test and tell us what they think.
So this is cool. Let me try this. So early on, remember when Colleen was here? Mm-hmm. Floating Sherpa. Watch this. So that was Colleen, who donated so long ago that you can't even see it up on the menu. And then Colleen, let's see if it works. She did it again. And see, look, there was the little picture of her. I'm not sure which grandchild that is there.
I'm going to guess that is Princess Elena.
Probably.
But if I am wrong, Colleen, don't get mad at me.
But that's what I'm guessing. And then we got one more donation. Let me hit the button.
Okay, Christine.
And it was from Patty.
Oh, cool. Let me answer Christine's question. Okay. Is there any way you can make the chat not so big? That is actually a feature on YouTube. You can control how large the chat is. That's not something we would have control over. That's a feature that you control on the YouTube end of things. I believe it's different for phones and tablets and the desktop. But you can pull chat out. You can change to night mode. Sometimes that helps people see the chat better. You can, make it bigger or smaller based on what you need. And I think you can do some stuff with the closed captioning too. If any of you are power users, I hope that didn't report that. If any of you are power users, and basically what that means is you just know where the buttons are, and you can shout out and help people come in now who might want to know how to fix those chat things. Maybe we should make a video about that. But if you want to know that, you can definitely do that. Okay, so Kathy's like, that's fabulous, but it blocks the view of the painting. So we would have to use that on a limited basis.
All right, let me see if I can update that so that it works better.
That would work for a smaller painting. I wonder, could you like put the materials list just going on a... Y'all know why I'm asking him this, right? Could the materials list just be on the bottom in a forever never-ending ticker tape?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes, it could.
I'm gonna make some other little cloudish shapes, little cloud shapes. So far, guys, I have to say this is one coat of gesso, and I didn't even use my good gesso. I didn't use my Holbein. I didn't use my golden. I used the Liquitex. And one coat, and it's painting beautifully. It's honestly less thirsty than some canvases I've used. So far, I would say this test is going really well. Really well in every way that can go well. And I'll let you guys participate. I'm going to put some flowers down here. What colored flowers do you want?
Oh. Hold on, it was working. I'm going to go. Shh, 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 shh.
Pollinary says, I don't need the donation screen. It's fine that we see it on chat and acknowledge it. It's just not necessary on the screen where she's painting when you come to watch. Thank you, Bonnie Rubin. And Kimberly Sullivan.
There we
go. So that's a very good point. And it wouldn't necessarily be an all the time thing, but there are times when we need to be able to do things where we can pop that out as a thing. And also because we don't have bubbles, if that makes sense. And it wouldn't necessarily look like this. Like I did some gnome drawings and some stuff, so there'd be like some funny little animations. You may actually be here for another test again when we test the animations.
I'm working that next part up.
And also for some games. We're not going to make this a thing where you have to pay to be acknowledged ever. We super appreciate the financial support because honestly, we couldn't afford all the stuff to even try to test this stuff out. But every single member of our community contributes to us even getting to be here. So we will never be that place where you've got to pay to be heard. But I will let John go through and pick out those chats that he's trying to test that Art came in for the super chats he missed.
Everything we do here is about making it more fun and, just trying to say thank you guys in more ways. So this is everything here is just about trying to make this more fun for everybody. And there's, trying to find ways where we can say thank you to those who can, help us out in those extra ways. So and
also make games and have fun stuff and get, things like get Kevin the Kraken back in play and the gnomes back in play. Plus we've got, 13 days of Halloween. We're going to have some fun stuff going. But it takes a certain amount. Thank you, Tracy Clark. It just takes a certain amount of work. I really can't even explain how much goes in to this. And I have realized I am not going to just set up a mobile phone and paint a painting, put it on time lapse and piano music. That is not going to be me. We've even looked at that, but I keep asking John, can we give some instruction there? Can we tell him where the material is? How am I supposed to know how to do this technique? It's just me. So.
Okay, so.
Barbara says, my Lazy Susan is great. Thank you. This is the Pioneer Woman one. Insider, because you came to the test news. We're working on getting a Sherpa one. Wiki, 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 woo. I'm not saying it'll happen. Wiki, wiki, because there are many challenges, but we're trying.
We're trying. So this is just, so check this out. I got some more cool things I'm going to try out real quick. Now, so just a minute ago, I showed you, where did it go?
Oh my goodness, he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. Oh, frabjous day, Calloo Calais.
Well, somebody
I haven't read Alice in Wonderland at all because he chortled in his joy. I literally don't need the ticker tape. That's what's so funny. Oh, thank you, Sheila Harvey. I appreciate that.
Patty,
and then Angela Kirkland says, yes, we need Alice in Wonderland painting stuff.
So check this out. So Patty earlier said to this, and then check this out. So I got this working, but she didn't send a message. But Kimberly did. And so I can display the message. So that's why I thought this was cool. And so
I think what they're saying, though, is they're finding these big.
Oh, yeah. I'll make them smaller. This is just a test of that it works.
Right.
So,
we're trying to convince my teenage daughter, the one who's like so sweet and so wonderful, but thinks my side part is just.
So this is.
We're trying to convince her to do some animations for us. We're like, you got to help us. We got to keep up with them kids, girl. And she's like, I don't know, Mom. Bird Riggs, thank you. Thank you. You're amazing, too.
Now, this is the next trick. Is
sunflowers, says Bonnie.
Tracy and Bird.
All right, yellow it is.
I have not yet gotten the stickers working, but I'm about to. That now, since you guys did that, now I have the data I need to go in here.
You gotta do them all on the different stuff. And April Reese, oh my goodness, B. Haynes, thank you. You got to get them all. In this particular one, we're gonna everyone who comes in and helps us test this bumper, guys, we're gonna let them have their bumper moment in this initial original bumper configuration because they earned it. It seems like the consensus is sunflowers, so if you guys want it, it's what you guys get. I'll just do sunflowers because why am I putting out quinacridone? I'll just put it out over here. I'll use it in some other way. I was like distracted and I put out quinacridone. Put out some yellow and some burnt sienna. Oh. So you just hid the quinacridone. You're like, you don't need that anyways?
Yes, it worked. Okay,
so you're putting me in the middle? Seeing if you can put me in the middle?
Yeah. I put you in the middle.
Okay.
You want me to move some? I can move you.
No, move me around. Like, get their feedback. Move me where they want me. Move me where they want me.
I'm just trying things out here.
I might end up painting this entire painting with this brush. That's really sad if I do. So I'm going to do my usual kind of dark green nonsense that I like to do. You can see, like, I'm here over that's some dust and stuff that got on there. That's not the wood itself because I didn't keep it very pristine in here. I've let the kids in and out. My youngest has decided she's going to learn Japanese, and she's got an app, and for some reason learning in here is the best place to learn with snacks. But you can see my paint is going over this very smoothly. And again, I did no specialized prep. I will put up the exact order. I will go to my order from Amazon. This is how serious I am about it. I'm not even going to make it an affiliate link. That's all, and I'll tell you what I used because this is actually not terrible. This is my first board though. When I test things, I generally test it a bunch of times before I give you guys any access to it because I realize that as a beginner, sometimes it's just a different experience for you guys. And add a little yellow back here. If you want to know the colors, just in case, because you're like, you know how sometimes we do the live streams and then I just paint because I can't just sit here and talk. It's ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, phthalo green, burnt sienna, cad, yellow, titanium whites. I put out a quinacridone magenta, but I don't know if I'm going to use it. And I'm just making a little bit of a here. If I paint this whole painting, this is the new challenge. I paint the entire painting with this one brush. Now, so why did I say that? Because I'm going to do it.
Now I'm going to try.
Thank you, Anne. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Becky. And you're getting everybody unicorn, says Elena, and Sylvia Boers giving me a box cat. And then Woohoo Sunflowers. Can you put colors more on the right side? More colors on the right side.
Probably, yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Do you mean like the under thing where it's right now telling us about the Jabberwocky? Thank you so much for this help, guys. Where it's telling us about the Jabberwocky. Oh, I like that. So how do I make that less of a...
I can fix it.
No, there's no way to do it.
Did you put it where you want to put it?
It's Inception.
No.
It's palette Inception.
Watch. I can do things. I just need to go back over to this one.
I am going to paint this whole thing with just this one color. Is that not wild?
And I can.
How crazy is your wife? Life is so crazy. There's no telling what I'll do. I could do anything. I could just do anything. I think we were asked, like, we moved, if I saw earlier and I meant to answer it, we moved about at April 1st. We moved April 1st. I'm not even kidding, we did.
So mostly, you guys, what I'm doing right here is I am testing out the data technology that I've got going on the back end. It allows me to interface my broadcast technology with the chat system so that I can start effectively. I have a robot that can listen to the chat, and based on things you guys do out there, but also things you can do on our website.
Do you have my double stick dots over there?
The ones you threw at me?
Yeah, the ones I threw at you.
No. They're over
See,
here.
that was the mistake of throwing them. When you throw your dots, you lose your dots in our house. They're there. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt him because he was saying something important. Thank you,
What was I saying?
Karen.
Shh, I need to make a new one of these. Recent.
Missy Lulu, we are looking at doing our own turntable. These are double stick dots. These things.
Okay.
Who is it? Recollections. For not being a multimedia crafter, I do a lot of recollections. And you know why? Because there was a YouTube video with this lady who was talking about, because YouTube said this is just the best. It got some views, but it never it didn't hit like huge or pick up big, but it was just the funniest thing. Because YouTube said I needed to have this. And then YouTube said she was just taking us on a studio tour, and she kept saying recollections. And then the next time I saw him in the store, I was like, she seemed to like those recollections. I'll give it a try. And then that's how I found the washi tape and all those other weird things. See, experimentation is an important part of art. I'm going to put this here and try to get the top. So these double stick tapes, they're pretty aggressive. I won't lie to you. They're pretty aggressive. But that said, boy, do they hold the canvas on. And my other low tack tape was not doing it. And yes, I did throw them at John last show. That did happen. Things happen. Decisions were made. Mm-hmm. Were they good choices? I don't know.
I think I got this one to work.
Did you? Did you get one to work?
Let me go over there and look at my... Wow, we got a lot of these. Let me see if it's works.
Yeah, go through them, man. Do them.
Yep. Okay, it works. Let's see. You ready?
As ready as I'm gonna be.
So I go...
Wiki woo.
Okay, so the first one we got...
I will take your coffee, Bonnie Rubin.
Was from Bonnie. And then Tracy sent us the pear character dancing under the rain confetti. See, it tells us which one they sent us. And then next, it was thank you, by the way, thank you, Tracy. And then there's Bird. So thank you, Bird. We appreciate it. And then B. Haynes. See, look. It says, you cannot see my character. I am an anonymous pink person. So, thank you very much. And then it was Becky who sent us she's an anonymous blue person. And let's see here.
She's an anonymous blue person.
Anne. There's Anne, and she's an anonymous purple person.
Anonymous purple person.
And
anonymous.
Then, look, there's Emily. And
Hi.
Then she said... sent a pear character, cheerful brown, party horn. I remember that one. And then I think I'm almost caught up. And then there's Betty right there.
So this
this
feature has a ton. Oh, thank you, Betty. Thank you so much. This feature has a ton of potential opportunities. John and I have a history, believe it or not, in video games. Mm-hmm. That basically means we have a core belief that things should be fun. Oh, this is taking the paint really nicely. We have a core belief that things should be fun. So when you see us testing a feature like that, don't expect us to use it in the way it was intended.
No.
We do lots of stuff on our show, not how they intended we do.
So I'm going
to come here. Notice this weird shape that I've got this brush into? I'm going to make some distant trees with it.
Now that I've noticed that people are getting into the lesson, I'm going to actually get a little serious here, and I'll try to bring it back in for you.
I'll stop.
I'll fix this.
I'll stop moving the palette
No, you're good. I'm going to fix this all up.
Are you? I'm going to just but one brush. no other brush will be used. 'Cause I thought, you know what? I'm going to aggravate myself thoroughly. Thank you, Moby. Thank you. And Patty, the super chat shoutouts cover part of the canvas. Yes. So far, we don't have a way for the super chat shoutouts to not cover part of the canvas.
We can play right now.
So, okay.
So one of the things that I'm trying to experiment with is ticker tapes. So I can create different, where we would want these things to display. I can change them. So let me see.
What if it was on the...
Hold on, I got an idea. Like this. So yes, and we can totally put it anywhere. But one of the things I'm going to try right now is if I take and just do something simple, like adjust where I have it display. And we put it, say, somewhere up
I do like this
here.
wood, guys. Expect to see this in the future. This is so much cheaper, and it will frame just as well, and it will hang just as well. There's literally no negative to this that I can see so far.
So
I'm kind of into it.
I've got more thank yous to give, so I'm going to go ahead and try this. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's try this. And we'll go. Oh, it's too small. I think that's too small up there.
I wish that the text was in white.
I can change that. So this is totally a prototype. So let's, before I go any further, I'm not gonna, that's not gonna count as my display because I don't like that one.
Okay.
Let's make a new one.
All right.
We'll make a new one with everyone here.
With everyone here?
With everyone here.
With everyone here.
We want to make it better. So how would we like to display? I got an
That's
idea.
a good question, Leslie Jones. I will let you know. And thank you, Dana Fuqua.
Let me open up my design tool. And let's build something new. Okay, and I think we want to start by putting... You want the text to be down at the bottom, I think.
Okay.
I have an idea. Maybe really small across.
So we had a question about the dry brushing, and it works good, actually. It's different than the canvas. It dry brushes different, but you still have the sort of skip effect that you need to be able to get to make a dry brush work. You do. You has it.
All right. I think this could work.
One brush, I said. Why did I say that? I don't know why I said that, because we're testing things.
All right. So I got what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up in the upper right-hand corner, I'll put a box up there. Okay?
Okay. Is that
No,
gonna...
it's okay. It's okay. I'll be able to move things around.
Okay.
And it will come up and disappear as I need it. So it just won't stay there. And I will... What color do we want the box to be?
No colors. What color do you want the box to be?
Gotta figure that out.
Trish Wood sent us a nice message. We've been getting some nice messages. April Tobin says, how would you hang that? So, I personally would go to Victoria Framing Company and get a round frame and regular backing, and I would put a bubble glass on it, and then I would wire it and hang it, and that would look insane. But that can get a little pricey. I mean, you can do it for probably under $100, but you can get it up into $1,000 really fast with some of those moldings. Some of the moldings are nice. That said, you can also use command strips. There's a bunch of command strip style hanging things, and it would stick to the wood. So I would probably do command strips if I wasn't going to frame it. And I have found a bunch of anywhere between $15 and $30 round frames in the that'll take a 12-inch surface on Amazon. And because everyone else is, you know how there's shortages on everything? Since everyone else paints square, wiki woo. Sorry. I can't help it. I cannot help it. So I'm going to add a little bit of red to my yellow. I'm going to try to fluff this thing up. I'm going to fluffer it up. See, I'm fluffering it up. I love this brush. trick will be paint this weird piece of wood. Somebody's going to end up being given this canvas. Unknowing. Let's load up.
All right. I'm trying to find out where I can do some font changes. And
I'm kind of pushing up with my thumb and
All right, so we're going to have to do with the color of the...
I'm going to need to put out more white, I can tell.
Got it. All right, there's that. Now we got that piece.
Can the color change as Temu Joiner based on the painting? I would think so.
Yes.
A lot of command strip love. And Sandy Hassler, I just got home and saw the caption. What is Stud Hands doing on my page? Why am I laughing? All this time I thought you were calling him Stud Hands. Well, while we are not a show that markets to children, we are family friendly. So I skipped. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying we chose not to go that direction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and carry these little yellow flowers into the side there. Should I put out some tiny yellow? I feel like I might want to. Patricia Mack, will you ever use the easel in the future? Yes, I will. The easel is not gone. It has a corner, and we will get that set up, just not quickly. So and we've got, 13 days of Halloween coming up and all sorts of stuff. So you know what you do? You just make it work. Trying to make little grips of little bits of flowers. They should look like little bits of flowers. I don't know, that looks kind of flowery, right? For just a completely out of nowhere lesson. I know it's wood, but what's it called? It was a 12-inch wood round. I'm going to go on Amazon, find my order, and share the exact link, not even with an affiliate link. I'll just share where I got it so you guys know that I'm not trying to convince you to buy wood rounds. I'm just saying it was actually okay. As you know, we're all noticing things like, let's be honest, we're noticing things like canvas shortages. It's a little alarming, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you see stuff like that as an artist, you start to make plans. So plans like, I think I better teach my community how to stretch canvas from scratch, or we need to find some other surfaces that are enjoyable and wonderful and also discoverable.
All right.
I'm gonna add some green into some of this.
Getting closer, guys. I'm learning as I go. So in a moment.
Don't you love how you can just paint with anything? Then Pollinator says you're going to be Stud Hands in her head forevermore. I think, yeah, it's his secret name. His secret name is now Stud Hands. I wonder how many people thought that and would clicked away. They were like, this is not my kind of show. This is not it. This is not, what are you doing? You're so crazy. You can always tell, I've had a day. Oh, Kimberly would like some quinacridone flowers out here too. All right, let me switch brushes. I'll switch to my other favorite brush. I'll pop some quinacridones out there. How does that sound? Let's do the number 12 Princeton Round Blender now. Let's test that out. Shall we? I think we should. I need to get that quite light. I'm going to make sure that this distant area isn't so flat and non-existent.
I'm almost got it.
Do you?
So.
And if you guys are in the green world, we're still doing green world, which is why we did this when we did it, because we knew we'd have to work on it for a minute. And
Well, this is great. Cause
we couldn't experiment on it with you guys because if YouTube won't let us use a lot of these tools on the private streams. Not my favorite, guys, I have to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to I think I'll put out this quinacridone. I have to say, I think the Holbein quinacridone is my favorite of the quinacridones. Of the quin magentas, I think. Let's add a little bit of our cad red to our quin, smidge of the white. That should pop it quite beautifully. And then I'll add some, I don't know, some little bunches of flowers back there to be pink, tucked in. Where are they? Looks like a really big hole in the canvas, so I'm going to go ahead and fill that with some pink. I like that. And then you try to make it look like, oh, we were here all along. We weren't an afterthought.
Huh.
It happened. That's so easy, isn't it? Look at that. Just pops them right in. Give them a little highlight and they'll be there. So yeah, this was a good, John and I often sit in the room here because his sit up is there and then mine is just across from him, as you might have noticed when I toss things at him from the chair in the new setup, which I really like because he's like, I can see him, which is comforting. Usually there's a wall between us and I'm just sort of staring at the wall, hopefully. But this new setup has been pretty terrific in that way. I like that. Go more pink than I am there.
Okay.
Thank you for loving the sky. Thank you for loving the sky, and thank you for coming in and taking time to help us fix these weird features on the show. The first time we play a game like Find the Kraken, you're going to be so glad we did. We're like, can you find the Kraken?
This will be Patron Title 2. We'll give this a try. Now, I'm going to try to load it up over here. And I appreciate you guys being so patient with us while we do this.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing we've got to do. And it's like I told my mom, I'm like, I'm going to be live tonight. I'm not messing with you. I'm just going to test some things. She's like, oh, no, I get it. I get it. Oh, that's coming together, isn't it? So can we see John's area also, Bonnie Hemming? Interestingly enough, a fun fact about my husband, he is very weirdly territorial and secretive about his streaming setup.
You know,
he really is.
Wizards don't often let you go through their spell books or rifle through their spell closet. And, you know, I'm kind of like, you know, I don't know that there's a whole lot there to share, you know, that's relevant to what we do on the show.
I think you just feel strongly like it's, you know, kind of like your secret sauce.
It is, yeah.
I'll bring some of these around here.
How we do it is sometimes as much fun. You know, being kind of that being my secret sauce, yeah.
It is. It's his little secret sauce. And he's very, very like, this is my secret sauce. Don't ask me about my secret sauce. I feel like we need some values in
All right,
here.
let me see.
So if you're wondering how to resize this particular one for regular canvas, it's easy because this is kind of more of a technique paint. So you would just have more trees and more flowers and, you know, kind of flatten everything out. The other way that you can do it is you can take a round image and crop it. One of the things like, you know, any image that you see, you can crop a section of it out and find that part to paint. It's not something that you might be thinking of in a regular kind of way, but it is definitely
okay. So I think
part of what is going on.
I got the new chat thing, the super chat. So here's the new super chat message I'm going to try. See if you like this one.
You guys let them know. Do you like it?
Ooh, that's very small. I want that bigger. Hold on. Let me fix that. Okay. Now try it. How about that? That seems good.
Oh, yeah, that's not, I mean, it covers a little bit of the canvas, but for just a second, and it doesn't, but if we had the picture-in-picture, where would that go?
The picture-in-picture is going to change around.
Okay.
So
Maybe it goes away for a minute and that pops up?
Yeah, and I can move this around the screen if I want to put it someplace else. But I think that's not a bad. So as we go back up in here and say, thank you, Sheila, by the way. So let's see here. And then we had other messages. Let's see here.
Jennifer Chavez is going to do this as digital art. Which I highly.
And then there was April.
I do a lot of my paintings first as digitals these days. I love it.
And then there's Karen Scott. Thank you, Karen. And Mo. Thank you, Mo.
I'm just pulling this in. So, again, we're testing it. I'm going to say the wood's a successful test. If you're not,
nope.
John's testing his thing and I'm testing my thing. I'm testing a wood round that was very economical from Amazon. John's testing these tools. For my test, I'm saying it's successful. But if you wanted to do this yourself, I would say it doesn't really matter what colors you use. It doesn't matter what you want. I like a light sky at the bottom. It gets darker at the top. A few wispy clouds. Some little plant lives to the side. A highlight down the middle and darker flowers on the edge. It's really very, I don't want to say formulaic, but it is. It's formulaic. It is right. It's formulaic.
There's
a what? A problem?
Shrink. Okay, I think that if
it's perfect except for the red.
Save. Hold on. So now I think that if I go over here, it worked. Look, see, it automatically resizes the font now.
Yeah, Betty Wilcox, I think that is the one. I'll confirm it by posting my link, but I think that is the one. And I figure no one else is buying them right now in the middle of all of this. No one else is getting them, so we can enjoy them. Right? Right? Maybe?
Yeah.
I feel so. Put out some more yellow. Also, this is helping me learn to work the palette. We actually do practice quite a lot. More than you think. Not enough, but more than you think. Sometimes I watch late night comedians and admire their camera work. And I try to do it, but it never really works. They're so like, shoo, 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 shoo.
Okay, so I am running into problems. So I'm going to have to figure out what's up. There's an error. It's no longer logging all of the...
Oh, no.
So
see?
After Trish Woods, and let's see, I'm going to go back over here because I don't have the other one working, so I'm going to go. But I do have this one. I can show you guys. See that Sylvia sent something up here, and so did Betty. And we had Sylvia, but I saw in chat. I thought I saw B. Oh, I guess it's probably still hanging out. So it may be working. I'm gonna keep keep an eye on this. So I want to make sure I don't forget anybody in saying thank you with helping us out on testing.
No,
all this.
it really does. You guys helping us test really helps us out because these are very hard features sometimes to test in closed spaces. They didn't used to be. But now, for some reason, they are. We think YouTube is up to things. We think they're up to something. We're not really sure what, but we think it's something.
Let's see here.
I'm just trying to put a lot of flowers in. So this is a little awkward at the front. I definitely would want to take all these flowers all the way off the canvas. All the way. I didn't even expect to be able to do a full painting. I just figured I was going to test the gesso and kind of see if I liked it or did not like it.
Okay, I think I see what's going on.
I like it.
Server saying too many requests.
Too many requests. Once again, I'm more than the system can handle. That's the story of my life. So I found an interesting thing today, John.
What'd you find?
there was a big magician's article about my grandmother, Jean Dennis. Once again, telling the story. If you guys don't know this, my grandmother was a woman named Jean Dennis. She was the Wichita Wonder. She wrote an article for the Kansas Star for so many years. She was on the vaudeville circuit. She was a psychic. She did readings for the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. She did readings, hung out with Albert Einstein. I guess my grandfather were friends with like all these crazy glitterati. And she also spent some time being interviewed by Abbott, who was the guy that was trying to debunk fake clairvoyance and psychics. And he wouldn't debunk her. He just said he still didn't believe in psychic, but she was the best guesser he'd ever met in his life. And she may be the basis for the story of Nancy Drew. Because she used to help the police solve crimes when she was a teen girl. And the guy that wrote Nancy Drew and her were closely affiliated. And it was long thought that she was where that character came from. Because she was a teen sleuth. I'm not kidding. So I found another article about her and I pinned it to my Pinterest board. If you're on Pinterest, I have a whole bunch of boards. You don't have to look at all of them. But one of them is The Making of a Sherpa. I don't mean that egotistically. It was just a funny name for the board. And in it, I have like pictures and backstories and stuff about the family that's kind of interesting. And if you're into that kind of stuff, that's where that is. I'm just sharing that. Did you find your thing? I just had to share that with you.
I'm
I thought it was really cool.
Configuring this.
Thank you, Patty. There's also called the Kansas Wonder. Father's mother or mother's mother. My mom's mom. My mom's mom died when she was like in her early 40s. And my mom was a baby. So we have my mom's biological parents, and then my mom's parents who they're both gone, the Judge and Punky. So the people who adopted my mom and her siblings, he was a Supreme Court justice, and he and his wife met in World War II, and they have a whole interesting story too. But they knew my biological grandparents through a social circle, so they knew the von Herbergs that way. My grandmother, my grandfather von Herberg was a character. We'll say that. I don't feel like he was respectful to women, I guess is my feeling, but you know. It's a very, very interesting thing, and kind of wild and crazy, and I think definitely formed some of what goes on with my mom and myself, I'm sure. Barbara Morrell said, thanks for all we do. Suzanne Briggs asked a very good question, and a good question for a test stream. We lost our test stream. We should keep letting people know it's a test stream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Shh. It's a test.
It's only a test.
Let me see here. I have to move the Sherpa when she shrunk.
You gotta move the Sherpa. Look, it's just my head. Eh. Sorry. I was playing.
Let's see here. So
playing with the bumpers.
So things are kind of working here. It's it looks like, let's see, I'm going to go back up here because let me go back over to my
I feel like we did a pretty good job. This was a good test. You guys feel like it was a good test? You guys, do you feel like you got to give your input and
yeah, we're going to have to cut it out here, but before we do, I'm going to say thank you to all the other folks who did. So let me go over to the and I put overlay, put the Sherpa back down, bring her back out. And then we'll go back up here and we'll say. So there was our Trish Woods. I was able to fix her font so it appears now. And then we can go over and see Patty Hoffman says she loves this painting.
Thank you, Patty.
And then Barbara, who says thank you for all you do. I think going back over to our stickers, I think we got one more sticker, which was...
Oh, thank you. So, fun fact. Some of you guys are asking, can we make the palette smaller to make room? This, no matter what we do, because the top and bottom aspect ratio of the film footage, you guys don't notice it, but these are always going to be dead areas on the screen. Right? Like, even as John, like, shrinks it, we can see more stuff, but all that we end up is zoomed out. I don't know if you guys know what I mean. Am I making sense? I mean, of course, if you like it, you can have. This is Burger King. You can have it your way.
So that way, they got to see exactly what I did with that image to make it more usable.
Yes, that's what we're trying to do. Is like John did a really cool thing where he's like, how can we make this more usable? Because I was like, they have to be able to see the palette. They've got to be able to see the mixes. We do tend to be classroom first in our thinking, and so you're seeing a lot of, like, he's done some crazy things. Like, I don't think anybody noticed it, but it was like when we had the retreat going, the candle that was on those videos, that was some crazy mad hattery of video. Because of course the candle was totally messing with the lighting on the thing, so we actually had to have its own little film track.
Let's go over here for a minute.
We're just putting some more little flowers. I guess, while we're here, we're just trying to make this be a more viable painting. And again, I have not had any problems with this wood. This test has been, you just are seeing what I would do quietly in my own little weird world, doing my own little weird thing, going, does it work? Does it work? Can I introduce it? Because, like, if I introduce to you guys to a new material or new medium, you cannot believe the thought that goes in it. On the rare occasion, like we're doing some testing of Fabriano black paper, I haven't done the specific project we're going to do yet next, but I've done enough testing of the paper and of the metallic stuff, a pretty good idea that it's going to come out. I try not to bring you guys stuff that is going to just aggravate you.
So I have an idea, and I'm going to put up a poll.
Okay.
If I can.
Do you mind if he puts up a poll while we're here? I mean, we've got a few minutes before we got like 20 before we got to go do Green World, so.
And assuming that I have it all working correctly and it's ready to move down here with no problem.
That's not funny.
Only because you've been here for a minute.
Oh, I'm like, look, I'm having a blast painting this weird little flowery field of, I don't know, some pink. These are like, the yellow started because you guys suggested sunflowers.
Now, this is the one I was looking for here. So if I go over here and I could go to viewer activity. That's that. I thought that I could give like a poll out here. Is there not poll?
I don't
Stream
know.
setting. No, maybe that's on Facebook. I can do that.
You have a poll setting on Facebook. That's the other thing. It gets very confusing between the two operating systems. I'm like, oh, thank you for the wonky palette. So what I'm going to do there, guys, is I will also put some double stick dots on my palette in future so it doesn't move on me, because that's been an issue in the. Oh yeah, I can pin merch. We can pin merch.
That's all I can do.
This will be more exciting when we have the Lazy Susan that we're making in. But, hopefully.
The wonky palette. So I have
the but one product.
I have a question for everyone.
Okay.
What if at the end of the show we were able to go back and go through all the super chat messages and all the sticker messages and say thank you at the end of the show?
Oh, what do you guys think of that?
Because we could do the painting, we could save all that towards the end. And
right.
Because, now my little robot-y system, I think, is working properly. So I do believe it will work.
What do you guys think of that?
We'll see. Yeah.
No, polls on Facebook. I don't know. I got to catch up to the chat.
YouTube eliminated the polls.
YouTube, Lady Fair, are you kidding me? YouTube, I don't know where YouTube is going, but I'll tell you what, I'm certainly watching it because it feels like it's
what do you want to bet? If you have memberships, there's polls.
Just,
If you're members, you probably can do
you
polls.
guys have no idea how much pressure there is from YouTube.
Yeah. So a lot of these places want us to charge you guys memberships to be able to provide you content that's gated. Now, the issue really around this is they take better than a third on average of what we make.
And there's limitations on what we can do.
There's a lot of limitations on what we can do. And what we found is that if we take a little extra time and we build it ourselves, we can give you guys something better. And oftentimes it allows for us to do more. You know, like the patronage of our website is so much stronger than what we could offer through any of those other services. So, and by having our community based off the website, especially in the new version where we've got, you know, we're expanding our content to not just be YouTube and Facebook. So there are a lot of other platforms out there. There's traditional television platforms. As we start moving to those, and you guys are trying to figure out where we're at, our website will be much more of a channel guide and how to find us and get quick access to all those cool things. So
yeah, make it easier to find, easier to know when we're live. We'll have hopefully what they tell us is, I don't know, maybe international texting.
yeah, there's some definitely new cool stuff coming with the website. So we've got some app technology that's being
You guys like
integrated
that?
in.
Does that feel flowery to you?
I like it.
Is that what it is? Yeah, no, okay, and again, I want to say this to everyone who watches us, no matter where you come in on this. This is not a pay to play channel.
No, you just
Like Tricia says, I love seeing the super chat stickers, but Phil, it's a little distracting to the actual class. Just my 2 cents. And when we hear that, like, I think John's right. Maybe at the end.
at the end of the show.
Maybe at the end of the show, there's a big, like, super chat. The thing that will make that work is there's the side that we have, and then there's the side that you have. And believe it or not, in my mind, you're part of this experience. Like, a huge part. So if we do that, when you see new people come in, you know, let them know, hey, they're going to do this thing at the end of the shows. You know, if they donate, and be like, let them know, you know, make sure. Because a lot of times people come in and they don't know what a hoot is or stun hands or who Kevin the Kraken is or what a gnome is. Or, you know, we have a lot of weird insider words. Whenever we get anyone who's like kind of a professional in the industry, they're always like, what's a hoot? Why do you call it this? Why did you do any of this? I'm like, you know, these things happen organically. I don't know what to say. Like, I have pink hair because I like pink hair. It's just the thing that happened. You know, stuff happens along the way. And when you've been here the whole time, you have that beautiful continuity of story. It's like watching Supernatural or knowing that I watch Supernatural. You get that continuity. So, you know, I think it'll be about every once in a while doing these test streams. But I think it's also like those of you guys who are like the heart and you get it, you know where the links are. Oh, there's Kevin. You know where the stuff is. And see, we're trying to like be able to do more stuff like that. Like, Kevin comes by, the Kraken. Kraken? Where you go, Kevin? Kevin, what you do, Kevin? Oh, I gotta go this way. Kevin, do it again. I gotta practice. Do this again. Let's practice. Kevin. See, I have to remember which way to look. Kevin. See? Practice. Just sorry. Everyone agrees at the end. But Casey Mixed Media is like, no, you got to thank them as they don't. I mean, we're going to verbally thank them. We're never going to not be like, no, thank Kevin. I think I missed Kevin when he got me, and then I reacted to Kevin in a delayed way. Well, what? I think I have to remember that you're Kevin. What I've got to do is react to you like you're Kevin. Hey, Kevin, what are you doing? Why are you on my show, Kevin? Why are you always interrupting, Kevin?
Interrupting Kevin.
Interrupting Kevin. Kevin. So we're adults and
Some
have chased out
days.
about 20% of the people on our show.
Did it?
Yeah. Barbara M says, yeah, I'd love to get filled in on all the terms all of you use because I'm new and I get lost in the chat. Yeah, and it's like we have the best chat because it's friendly and it's engaged and everybody likes each other. And we got things like things you might not know if you were new to us. If you come late to a show, you're supposed to throw up donut emojis. We're a bit like the Rocky Horror Picture Show in this. You're supposed to, if you come late, you bring donuts, right? And then, some people are like, no, I'm on a health food kick. And then they bring vegetables. And we're like, can't bring vegetables. And so hoots, 1 hoot means easy. 2 hoot means a little more challenging. 3 hoot means fully guided, but with more techniques and colors. Kevin was a Kraken that in the beginning I kept adding to paintings in an after show, and we named him Kevin. And I don't know, he appeared, I think, initially in one of my hidden lessons. There are many hidden lessons on the channel that you don't know from the thumbnail are there. Like there's sort of like a Jaws lesson that teaches you about underwater where Kevin made an appearance, and then he's in the clouds. We have a sky kraken, and then there's a gnome and a kraken. We krakened a lot, so that happened. There's a big long gag. All my roosters are really judgy. In fact, all my birds have too much toot. I don't know why. It's just the way I paint them. Stunt hands is my husband, John. Gnomes are helpers in our community, but they're also the way that we send our own personal notifications to people, and we call them gnomifications. Sherpa can be used as a verb. People who watch the show can be Sherpettes, Sherpanista, and Sherpazoids. Is there another one? See, it's just like, oh, now I know why I was seeing all the donuts. Yeah. And so that's important. So everyone who's here, if you watch the show and you love the show and you want us to be able to keep going, as you come in, remember, you're also a participant. You're also a guide. You're also helping the newcomers, so like, make sure that the new people get in and they get engaged and they're part of our community, because it's not just the lesson, right? Which is good. We didn't do a lesson today. We did a test today, which I do like these. But when we're doing the lessons, it's not just the lesson. It's the love and support that happens within the community. I did him. That's my new subscribe button. Does he look good? I think he looks okay. Does he look okay?
Yeah, I think so.
It looks okay. So I'm making like custom sub buttons because we forget to YouTube. If you've watched us for a while, we always forget to go like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to do that more, because if you don't mention to people they should subscribe, they won't subscribe, and then they don't know when you're live, and they're like, I thought you stopped going live. And I'm like, no, like 3 times a week for like 7 years, totally consistently. You might not know that there's 1,000 lessons. Literally, I'm not exaggerating. It's 1,000. I think I have more lessons now than Bob Ross. I don't believe I'm exaggerating. If that number's inaccurate, I'm sorry for speaking out of turn, but based on what I've read, for sure.
I would say you have definitely done a couple.
A few. It's like 1,000 lessons. So there's a lot of that. So that's what, thank you so much, Barbara. So we're just trying to, we get these features and we keep saying like, stuff like, I want John to be able to, besides this wonderful bumper that comes up for that, John can pop up an answer about something, or he can be funny in the comments, or we could play a game. Like he could put up a shout out your local art store, and everyone can then shout out their local art store. I don't know. We're always trying to think of things that make our time together not only educational, but infotainment. In other words, I think, here's my thinking. When I was in school, I really struggled in math, even though I'm a capable person. I'm intelligent, but it was really hard for me. Numbers get mixed up, and I would struggle with the way they were explaining it. And I had to learn. I had to doodle. I had to draw what they were talking about. If they were talking about a radical fraction, I drew out radical fractions. I had to doodle to know. And my open book notes look like a comic. I think we learn better when we're relaxed, when it feels silly, when we're not taking ourselves so seriously, and when we have a community of people that are encouraging us not to be hypercritical. Because, look, the skills will come. Maybe it'll be your 10th painting, 20th, 50th. It's just somewhere along the way it'll happen. If you paint consistently and you complete the projects and you focus on mastering the techniques, and you do it repeatedly, that's going to happen. Like, you know how when kids are little and they just think they're never going to grow up, but you're like, no, that's happening. That's the one thing that's happening. Many other things might happen. The one thing that is happening is that you're going to, get taller. You guys are going to get where you're trying to go in your painting journey.
Uh-oh. That's not going to work. Shh.
Sorry. See, testing.
Testing. You can't go there either. Go here. There you go. And then this can go back behind.
Yeah,
you.
Diana says Bob Ross used to only be on Saturdays for 30 minutes, thus he would have less paintings. So, in all credit, he did them 3 times. So, like, we've got to multiply what he did by 3. But then I have more than 1,000 paintings sitting around here. I might have, like, how many do you think we have?
12 to 1,500.
Yeah.
Somewhere
maybe 2,000.
Yeah, it's no joke. We have I don't even know what to say. It's probably a 20.
Kimberly's like, I've been here since the frog hat, yo. See? That's like, if you know what the first YouTube lesson was.
Okay.
All right, but we have to do a thing because on top of this test, we have patrons and they have a special lesson that we're supposed to be there for, so we should go do that.
We should. Okay, get that ready. Okay.
Listen, guys, thank you for the help. Our show will be better. Thank you for the feedback. Keep giving it. Even if we can't take action today, we are listening and we will try to incorporate as many of the things that make your time learning better and more fun and more enjoyable so that we can just keep doing this. I guess as long as people are interested in learning how to paint. Mm-hmm. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Thank you so much for helping us tonight. Bye-bye.